Welcome, students and parents, to the Test Prep Seminars EKA webinar. My name is Katrina Smith, and I will be your presenter today. First and foremost, I commend each of you for taking initiative by attending our ACT Bootcamp. You join your peers on a journey towards future success on the ACT exam and in testing the possibilities of your knowledge. On the screen, you will see the agenda for today's call. Don't forget to enroll in your free 3-credit college-level critical thinking course. This is a special offer made possible through the Herzing University and Test Prep Seminars partnership and is only reserved for students participating in a Test Prep Seminars program. Learn transferable skills in critical thinking that apply towards standardized testing, college, and real-life scenarios. You'll see the link here at the bottom of your screen, and it'll take you right into your enrollment page. There are 5 test-taking opportunities for improving and pulling up scores. I can't tell you how many students I have talked to in the past that are overly nervous about the test, or even worse, not even planning on taking it because they don't think that they would score well enough to get into college. There's a lot more that goes into these tests than just your scholastic aptitude. There are 5 critical factors that keep students from scoring well. The first one is simply just lack of knowledge of the testing format and the content. Students don't know what to expect. It is the unknown that creates fear and anxiety. If students walk in and you don't know what to expect, they don't know where to go, they don't know the directions, they feel overly anxious and fearful. The second is lack of test-taking strategies. In my opinion, this is the biggest one. Students go into the exam and their only strategy is I'm going to open a page 1 and I'm going to keep on going in order until the proctor says time up, and that is the strategy. This is a huge competition, and when you compete, you need to strategize in order to gain an advantage. You guys were able to get an opportunity to talk about time management skills and test-taking strategies during your ACT bootcamp. The third is test-taking anxiety. This is a huge problem for a lot of students. They say 1/3 of students suffer from test-taking anxiety. We hope the boot camp and the practice drills help relieve some of that for you. The fourth is poor time management. You guys just aren't used to having to take time tests. This is a compressed test by design, and they do this on purpose. They say the average student takes 60 minutes to complete this section, so we're only going to give them 35 minutes. What they are doing here is they're trying to weed out the geniuses from the rest of us. The last one, and this is a really big deal, is lack of rest and proper nourishment. As teenagers, you live in a constant state of exhaustion with all things that you have on your schedule. Definitely do yourself a favor and get a good night's sleep and eat properly before you go to the test and the day before the test. Time-tested practices. Remember, the first critical factor we discussed a minute ago was lack of knowledge on the test format and content. Your bootcamp event was meant to impart knowledge on test-taking format, directions, the content you'll see on the test, and obviously talk about time management tips and strategies. It has been proven that repetition builds retention. Over 50% of students increase their score the second time they take the test. This means you already have a 50% chance to score higher on the actual exam just by taking a practice exam. It has also been proven that bubble sheet compliance requires practice and instruction. So you guys remember you did the bubble sheets at the boot camp. Not filling all those darn bubbles properly can cost you your score. The good news is that you were just able to practice that too, so now you have more experience when you go to take the actual exam on how to do that. The last time tested practice is to study the right kind of questions. Now, you may ask, how am I supposed to know what are the right kind of questions to study? I will base this answer off of your score report, which brings us to the reason we're all on this webinar today. Everyone that participated should have received a score report via email. If you did not receive this report, please email info@testprepseminars.org to request a new copy. Remember, this is a competition, and on the real exam, you're competing against 1.8 million other test takers looking to gain scholarship dollars and acceptance to the college of their choice. Here are some data you can use to measure your own performance. A perfect score is a 36. The national average is a 21, and the Texas state average is a 21. Now, this is a fun fact. Only 1% of test takers earn a score of 33 or higher. So you heard me say the perfect score is a 36. So only 1% of students reach a score of between 33 and 36. Okay, so the question is, how did you stack up? At the very top of your report, you will see this graph here. The first 4 bars of the graph indicate your section scores. Reading from left to right, you find English, math, reading, science, and your overall score. Your section scores will help you determine which areas you should focus your studies on. Now, don't worry if your score is not what you want it to be. We're going to talk about how to improve and pull up your score. And again, remember, over 50% of test takers increase their score the second time they take the test. Next, on your individual student report, you will see a series of 4 pie charts. At the top of each pie chart, you will see your overall section score in English, reading, math, and science, just like the bar graphs displayed on the last slide. Each pie chart displays the percent of questions you answered correctly in blue. Let's take the reading chart in the example above. This student scored a 12 in the reading section and answered 27.5% of questions correctly. How do you compare to the Texas state section averages? I will go through these quickly for your reference. The Texas average for English is a 19.8. In comparison, you can see this student scored a 17. The Texas average for math is 21.1. This particular student scored an 18. Texas average for reading is 21.1 as well, and you can see this student scored 12. And in science, the Texas state average is a 21 in comparison with the student, which is a 17. Now, that should be a pretty good indication on where to start practicing, but we're going to go down one more reporting level. On this next page of your report, you will see a page with a lot of data. This part of the report details how well you did on each individual concept tested. In the first column, you will see the ID number you were issued on test day and your name. If your name does not appear 100% correct, your bubble sheet was not filled in properly. Now, let's look at a line on the reports in this example, moving from left to right. Let's look at the English, it's the discipline or the section. The subject or the higher level concept area is grammar and usage. And then all the way down to the concept level, we see verb tense. And in this case, the student answered 8 questions out of a possible 10 correctly for a total of 80%. Now, if we go down to this next section here, you'll see style and redundancy, and this particular student answered 0 out of 5 questions correct for a 0%. Now, if I was a student choosing a concept to study within a test section, I would find that I should work on redundancy before I work on verb tense. Now, I could definitely maybe use a little bit of a brush up on verb tense, but I know my effort should be focused here. Or even if you were to look at clarity and tone with 8 questions correctly out of a possible 20 for a 40%, definitely another area to focus on. Now, on the next page, you will see your student's personalized learning plan. This looks very similar to last page, but also provides a heat map under the assessed needs column. So you'll see this here in red, green, and yellow. At the bottom, you will see a legend, similar to what looks like right here, and it will indicate what the colors mean. Green indicates a basic brush up is needed. Yellow indicates there is some room for improvement, and red means there's lots of improvement required. And you can see how that matches up on our heat map. So if you could see here, we talked about verb tense on the last slide. That's green, so only basic brush up is needed. And if we were to look at redundancy or clarity in tone, we can see that lots of improvement is needed, which is reflective of the last page we just saw. Now, this is one of my favorite questions. Where will your scores take you? Here is a short list of colleges in the average acceptance score. Please keep in mind that there are other variables that play into college acceptance, such as GPA, class rank, written essay, and being recruited as an athlete. Exploring your possibilities is exciting and yet overwhelming at the same time. You may already know what score you need to get accepted by your college of choice or to get that scholarship you really need, or you may just have started thinking about which school you would like to go to. Either way, the purpose of this practice test was to give you a starting place. The baseline score you now have allows you to focus on your opportunity areas by subject. While there are many online solutions, few offer a laser-focused approach based on subject area at a reasonable cost. Now you can see up on the screen you have Ivy League and most state school averages. Now here's the million-dollar question. Internet madness, parents weighed down by huge tutoring costs, lack of scholarship dollars due to low scores. So where do I go from here? What's next? Well, luckily we have some advice for you. Students may participate in a virtual whiteboard series. Students will experience collaborative learning through real-time audio, video, chat, and a virtual whiteboard. Students will share their learning plan with their coach and ask them to create questions in their areas of weakness. We prompt both the students and the coach for feedback after each session in order to provide insight into understandings. Students can even use their sessions for help on their homework, which is great. So if you're a parent out there that finds it difficult to help their student with their homework and some of these new classes that they're taking today, have no fear. This is definitely something that can be used for homework. 15-minute sessions. Now you can also choose your subscription below. So your basic review for $99 a month, guide and study for $198 a month, focus study for $297 a month, or perfect score for $396 per month. Now it does indicate how many sessions. They are 15-minute sessions. And you can click here at the bottom to enroll today. These are pay per month sessions. If you want to add hours, you can do so at any time. So if you want to start at a lower package and move to a higher package, you are able to do that. And if you feel you want to do 30-minute sessions instead of 15-minute sessions, that is absolutely fine. You can do sessions back to back. Now, if anybody has any questions on the virtual whiteboard series and would like to speak to someone in our Tutor Up department, you can call a member of our education services team in our Tutor Up department at 262-344-7001. We are more than willing to answer any questions that you have, guide you in a certain direction, or to further explain your student's score and what is the best approach to help them get where they need to go. Thank you very much for joining us today, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.